Hello and welcome to LabVIEW Advantage. Welcome to the second video on the object-oriented programming in LabVIEW. In this video, we'll compare between the different ways of programming. We'll compare between the task-based approach, which is the traditional method, and then the object-oriented design method, and finally the object-oriented programming method. To compare between different methods of writing a code, we have an example application, a simulator for the data logger. The requirements of this application is to acquire the signal and then log system status and acquire data into the .csv file. So first of all, what we'll show you is we'll follow the task-oriented approach. The task-oriented approach is basically you will focus only on the functionality of your application. You are not considering anything that might be required in the future. So the first approach is task-oriented programming. We also know it as a procedural programming. In task-oriented approach, we break down the operation into the sequence of tasks. Each sequence is based on the result from the previous task. In this approach, we are focused mostly on the current requirements and not on the future possible requirements. So because of this reason, we'll focus more on the development than design, and the application is going to be mostly problem specific in nature. So let me show you how we actually implement the task-oriented approach in this particular application. So how we implement is, first of all, we are going to initialize the application and log the data, and then we'll acquire the signal, and then after that we'll check the value of signal and then log the data, and finally we'll stop the application and log the data. So the entire steps are sequence of. So in this case we have got all the codes that are actually performing some operation. So these codes are cannot actually be used in another application because these are very problem specific in nature. So we'll move now into the object-oriented design. Before we move on, I want to discuss that in the third part of this object-oriented programming series, I'll be showing you the demo of how to write the code in different ways, and I'll show you the comparison between pros and cons, why you should actually approach a different kind of programming methodology and why. But in this presentation we'll focus only on the comparison in more theoretical approach so that you can understand the concepts before we actually move in. The basic difference between the object-oriented design and then the task-based approach is, in the task-based approach, if we go back, what we'll see is we have a sub-VIs for modularity, but the main thing is the sub-VIs are actually performing only specific operations. They don't actually contain any data. So what we do with the object-oriented design is we actually identify the modules that are going to handle both the data as well as the method or function that is going to work on that data. To use object-oriented approach, it is not necessary to use object-oriented programming. A programmer can achieve the similar kind of reusability using object-oriented design, but it does not provide the properties such as encapsulation and inheritance that comes with object-oriented programming, making it less maintainable and less readable. Since the data is not secure in object-oriented design, it is difficult to maintain. Using the object-oriented design approach, we start identifying the modules that carry out specific tasks rather than writing a code to execute it. This is the key difference between object-oriented design and task-based. When developing the module, a developer should consider making it highly cohesive with less dependencies to make it more modular. Object-oriented design requires high design before developing the application. We put together the common data and then different functions associated with it in the same module. So let me show you how we actually go with the object-oriented design approach. So in the object-oriented design approach, we'll focus on the design part in the beginning. So in the first, what we'll do it is Rather than starting with steps, we identify and develop data logging module. During the implementation part, we use this module to handle responsibilities associated with file logging. So once a module is created, we initialize the module and then we use module to log the data rather than using some random sub VI or some different module. We provide the responsibilities to that particular module, and then we acquire the signal and then check the value of signal, again use the same module to log the data, and finally when we stop the application we use the same module to log the status of module. On the right hand side with the log command on the top basically is the module we created to log the status and then the data of the system. So using this approach, our application development looks like this. The design precedes the implementation. Rather than starting with steps, we identify and develop data logging module. During the implementation part, we use this module to handle responsibilities associated with file logging. Now finally, we'll move into the object-oriented programming approach. So using object-oriented programming in application development, it actually enforces the object-oriented design methodology. So in this approach, we start by identifying the data and methods that carry out specific responsibilities, and based on current and future usage, we create classes and child classes. Object-oriented applications are more secure and reusable due to the properties like inheritance, than object-oriented design applications without object-oriented programming. But one of the limitations of the object-oriented programming is it requires extensive design before development. So if you are going to do the object-oriented programming, like I said, it will require the extensive design. So in this case, we create two classes by identifying the data and methods for handling specific responsibilities. One thing to understand is in LabVIEW, classes are basically the special type of cluster. You can view that way, which contains the data as well as the function. So considering the future use of extensibility, we create a child class of the log data. The operation of child class is always more specific than its parent class. During implementation, log data class object carries out logging of data, while signal class object carries out acquiring the signal and checking the value. This makes the application highly modular in nature. The responsibilities are clearly defined and specific. Note that the functionality of the application remains the same regardless of the development approach. But using object-oriented programming, the developer experience can be significantly enhanced. So the object-oriented programming approach solution looks like this. In this case, we have got two classes that is actually using its data and then the respective methods to perform the operation. In this particular stage of the code, a log data method is being used by the log CSV data class, and finally the signal class is using its two methods called generate signal and check limit. Now we'll discuss further about the class, objects and object-oriented programming and then demo in the final video of this series. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and comment this video, and please subscribe to this channel for future LabVIEW videos.